Hello there everyone, how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/malicious compliance, where the stories are about people doing exactly as they're told and coming out ahead in life. If you enjoy, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and do tell me how my audio quality is right now, because I'm recording in my new little closet. Now let's get started. For our first story, we have, had to comply before my boss would see that an idea was so stupid it would prevent customers from even entering the store. From 1997 to 2004, I was a retail manager, mostly for a chain of record stores that was widely considered to be one of the best managers in the company. Mainly because I worked very hard, was very diligent, hired good staff, and took great pride in my work. My branch ran like clockwork, so I was frequently sent to other branches that were failing, in order to get them licked into shape, to install better routines and to retrain staff to keep it that way. The company even used in-store administrative paperwork that I designed, because I found the existing stuff messy and inefficient. All this to say, my opinions were well respected and any concerns I raised well heeded until October 21. I was asked to sign for a consignment of trestle tables. That was how they were described. They were folding wallpaper pasting tables, and I thought there must be some mistake, but no, it was addressed care of me and my branch. The accompanying memo said that I needed to erect these tables, all 20 of them, on the shop floor, and staple the accompanying plastic rolls of what I can only describe of trash bag plastic, both in quality and smell, but red, to the tops of them like tablecloths. There are a number of issues here. Firstly, for what? We have a beautiful, bespoke, powder-coated shelving for all the CDs and so on. It's a slick, professional retail space. What's the deal with wanting it to look like a yard sale? More importantly, however, my store, at least the retail space, is small. Barely more than 15 by 20. In fact, and in the middle of the room is dominated by a large immovable rack unit which houses the back catalog CDs. Customers already complain that the store is cramped. People in wheelchairs and parents with strollers complain that it's hardly navigable. So even one of these tables is going to provide a maddening and pointless obstacle, perhaps even a safety hazard. Not to mention, blocking access to the existing stock, just one. I'm supposed to erect 20. This is just ridiculous. So I called my regional manager, I will call him Greg, and I asked him what this was about. In fact, I gave him my thoughts in the strongest possible terms. But he seemed to think that it was a brilliant idea by our recently installed new owners and would get customers in. I pointed out that, on the contrary, it was guaranteed to keep us customers out. Since they'd send me 240 square feet of tables, I could only have 220 square feet of floor space, and they couldn't even get in even if they wanted to, and they could only want to get out of sheer morbid curiosity. He simply could not understand the problem. I implored him to understand the numbers, to visualize the absurdity of this. He couldn't. He said it had all been worked out and every branch had the exact number of tables they needed. The conversation got heated, and I said he was stupid if he just couldn't understand this. He ordered me to just get it done, and that he'd be down first thing in the morning to check compliance. And yes, I vividly remember him using that word before slamming the phone down. Well, I was infuriated, to say the least, but determined to show him the issue fully if that's what he wanted. I stayed late alone and wrestled these tables into place, having to carry each one down a long flight of stairs since deliveries are made to the top level of the mall, what they call the service deck. It took me over 2 hours, cost me my back and many cuts and bruises, but I managed to get 18 of them in place, complete with tablecloths stapled to them. My beautiful shop floor is now a 3-foot-high sea of shitty red plastic with barely a single square foot of space to navigate in. I made sure that there was a navigable path underneath, since I still needed to set the alarm and get out. I did so, having to literally army crawl under the tables to the exit, just managing to get the shutter down and locked in time. The next morning, about 8:35 a.m., Greg was there as promised, having got there before me. He was standing in stunned disbelief looking through our grill shutter at the scene. "What have you done?" he said somehow in disbelief. And I responded with, "Exactly what you asked for. Exactly what we talked about yesterday. Wait there." I slid the shutter up and army crawled back across the floor to the alarm to disarm him before shouting back to him, "That's what I have to do just to get in. What do you propose the customers do if they want to buy something or even look at a product? Should they walk on top of the tables or crawl underneath?" Greg's eyes were like dinner plates as he stood helpless at the entrance. How he couldn't picture this in his mind yesterday, I do not know, but I think he sees the problem now. "Actually, Greg, this is only 18 of the 20 tables. We could stack the other 2 on top if you want." He shook his head despondently. "Let's just clear this mess up." He started at his end, and I started at mine. Annoyingly, the tables now won't even fold in half because of the plastic stapled to the top of them. I ended up using a box cutter to slice the joy, while Greg angrily slashed at it with a car key. It took us at least 40 minutes to get them all folded away back upstairs and the shop floor clear. The store opened late as a result, with the resultant annoyed customers, and Greg spent the next hour using the store phone to tell head office what a stupid idea it was, and they had to urgently rethink. Someone in the comments says, "How he couldn't picture this in his mind yesterday, I don't know." Well, some people literally cannot visualize, so that kind of sucks to be him, honestly. The memo said we must give a printed receipt for every library checkout, so I did, until we ran out of paper. I work at a public library, and most days are calm even when it's busy. Last month, someone higher up sent out a shiny new accountability memo that said, "Every single checkout must include a printed receipt. No exceptions. No asking the patron. No email option unless they request it after you print." The memo literally said that it reduces disputes, and if a patron refuses the paper, you still print it and discard it yourself for audit consistency. We all kind of rolled our eyes, but decided, fine, I'll follow it exactly, because I'm not getting blamed later. The next Saturday, we had a little line out the door, strollers, seniors, kids, everyone, and I printed a receipt for every checkout, even when people said no thanks. I didn't speed print either, because the policy also said to highlight due dates and to verbally confirm them, so I did that too, every single time. One guy checked out 47 items for a book club donation of sorts, so I printed out 2 full pages of receipts, highlighted, confirmed, stapled, and then put the duplicate copy in the audit tray, like the instructions told us to. Another patron asking why I was throwing paper straight into the recycling, and I said, "It's just our new rules. Sorry," because I wasn't going to editorialize. By noon, we had burned through 2 rolls of thermal paper, and the printer started doing that faint stripe thing, which means it's about to jam and need a reboot. So I logged a supply request and kept printing away, because the memo didn't say to pause for common sense. The line got slower, people got cranky, and we ran out of paper completely, which meant we couldn't check anything out because the receipt screen blocks the checkout until it prints. The fallout was immediately. The children's librarian had to cancel a storytime giveaway, the hold shelf was overflowing, and the director got a call from the city office because someone complained they drove 30 minutes and couldn't borrow books because the printer was empty. Monday morning, we got a follow-up email that receipts are now optional again and please be mindful of waste. I kept the original memo in my drawer just in case they forget how we got here. Now, I'm going to end today's storytelling video here because I can feel my voice giving out on me. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to let me know how the audio sounds, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.